I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
In the old days, if a witch betrayed her coven, they would kill her.
There's something about them
I don't know what's happening to me. I can't eat. I can't sleep.
that's different,
We can make things happen.
that's exciting,
Make love to me, Chris.
that's unbelievable.
You're a witch.
Surprise.
The Craft.
Relax, it's only magic.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a Patreon request from I Hate Facebook 31184. Thank you so much for the request. Thank you so much for joining my Patreon. If anyone's ever interested in joining my Patreon, there's certain tiers. You can get certain things. You do so. In the info box down below will be the link. Or if you ever want to request anything directly via PayPal, the link to that will be down below as well. If not, no worries. But the review for today is for The Craft from 1996. And I thought this was a pretty good flick. I've seen this film before. It's been a while since I watched it. I know there's talks of a reboot from Blumhouse. Last time I heard anything was back in, 2019? Yeah, it's not needed. I think this film still works. I thought it had some nice style to it. I thought the cast did a good job. The four ladies here, Robin Tunney, who's our lead, Fairuza Balk, who pretty much becomes the main villain of the piece, Neve Campbell, funny enough, the same year she would be in Scream, because Scream came out December and this was a May release, and then Rachel True, which I believe she was in Half-Baked with Dave Chappelle. Now, the gist of the story, Robin Tunney moves to a new town with her dad, Cliff DeYoung. Nice to see Cliff DeYoung in there. It's not a big role for him, but I remember him from this 80s film called Pulse, which I quite enjoy. I've reviewed that on the channel. But they move in. Robin Tunney's trying to fit in, and there's other recognizable people in the school. There's Breckenmeyer, who I remember, he was in the Garfield movies I reviewed. I've also heard him on the show Robot Chicken, which I really enjoy. He's been in other stuff too. Steve Ulrich, speaking of Scream. Yeah, Neve Campbell's, it's weird. Neve Campbell and Steve Ulrich were both in this and Scream in the same year. They don't really share much scenes together, but it was interesting. But Robin Tunney's trying to fit in. Neve Campbell starts noticing certain things, like Robin Tunney can move a pencil with her mind, and other nature or other seemingly supernatural events. And Robin Tunney's trying to fit in, so she gets with these other three girls, and people go, "Oh, you shouldn't go near them, they're witches." And in a way, you kind of find out that the three are sort of poser witches. And Robert Tunney, because of her bloodline, is sort of a real witch. And in a way, they're kind of doing stuff, but really it's because of Robin Tunney's power, however you want to word it. And like I said, I thought the director, Andrew Fleming, who actually did a film I remember not minding called Bad Dreams from 1988, with Bruce Abbott from Reanimator, Jennifer Rubin from Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors. He directed this. I thought he brought a bit of style to it. I thought it went at a good pace. I never found it boring. I thought the soundtrack was pretty good. I especially liked the scene, which is actually in the trailer. It's a song called How Soon Is Now by Love Spit Love. Interesting name for a fucking band. But I did like that song, How Soon Is Now by Love Spit Love. But I like the other songs too. And the girls get to know each other and the four of them become friends, and Robin Tunney starts realizing that other people are not to be trusted, like Steve Ulrich, who spreads a false rumor that they had sex and just being a fucking dipshit. And I bought her becoming friends with the other three. And they kind of made the four of them likable because they each dealing with their own issues. Robert Tunney's character had tried to kill himself before. Fairuza Balk's character has his asshole stepfather who's a piece of shit. Rachel True, this super racist bitch, keeps fucking with her even when she's just trying to dive, and keeps calling her all sorts of racial shit. And I think it was that the... I'm trying to think, was that the girl from the Brady Bunch movie? I'm trying to remember. I should have looked this up before. The character's name was Laura. Christine Taylor. Yeah, okay. Yeah, she was Marcia in the Brady Bunch movie. I knew I recognized her. So yeah, Marcia is sort of a racist bitch in this one. So if you want to see Marcia racist, go watch this movie. She's treating that Rachel True's character like shit. Neve Campbell has these scars on her back. She thinks she's ugly. I'm like, fuck, you're still hot. Even with the scars on your back, you're still hot. But hey, I like Neve Campbell. I've always liked Neve Campbell as an actress. And she does a good job here. That's one of the flaws I had with the film. I wish Neve Campbell and Rachel True got a bit more development. I mean, there's some development there, but it seems by the second half of the film, it's more Robin Tunney and Fairuza Balk show. And Neve Campbell, Rachel True, they're more in the background. I would like if because what happens in the story is they're practicing witchcraft, and then things start going well. Because they can actually do things like levitate one of them. And then Robin Tunney does a love spell on Steve Ulrich. Neve Campbell, the scars are gone. Rachel True, the bully's starting to lose her hair. Feeling the humiliation she felt by being called these racist, horrible names. Fairuza Balk, the abusive stepfather, dies of a heart attack, and then her and her mom get a huge life insurance policy. So things are looking up. And for 1996, I thought some of the effects looked fairly decent. There's a moment where Robin Tunney does this thing without cutting, where she does this, and as she moves, the hair color changes. I thought that was pretty impressive for a lower budgeted film in 1996. Stuff like that was pretty neat to see, even watch it today. But like I was saying, things going haywire. Robin Tunney wants to stop, and ultimately the other three turn on Robin Tunney, and then it becomes a battle between her and these three. But not battle in the fact of she's fighting, punching all three of them, like Superman versus the Kryptonians and Superman 2. It's not that, but because really the other two, they're in on it, and they're still villainous, but she kind of takes care of them fairly quickly by making one think her hair is being long and gone, and Neve Campbell's has got scars in her face, so they leave, and then it becomes sort of a battle between Robin Tunney and Fairuza Balk. I thought it would have been nice if at least one of them, preferably Neve Campbell, she could see the error of her ways and be sort of for Robin Tunney and be like, hey, this is not the right thing to do. Maybe a bit more friction between the three, like infighting, like, come on, this is wrong. I thought maybe that type of stuff could have brought Neve Campbell or Rachel True's characters up a few notches, give them a little bit of stuff to do. Because then by the second half of the film, they're kind of just sidekicks for Fairuza Balk. And again, I think if you had done something a la Neve Campbell supporting Robin Tunney or going like, this is wrong, I don't know why she's doing this. I mean, you're right, I'm being affected by it too because I'm being narcissistic because I got my stars gone now. Maybe something that would have helped. Because it's like, it's the first half, it's the four of them, and the second half, it just felt just Tunney and Fairuza Balk. And the finale is fun. I thought it had some nice physical, not gags, but for example, there's a scene where Fairuza Balk is pretty much throwing a damn dresser, and you think Robin Tunney's been squished, but she hasn't. But I thought the way that was filmed, that was well handled. It doesn't go into a CGI orgasm fest by the finale, which I appreciated. Again, I really enjoy the four main cast members. It was interesting to see people like Steve Ulrich and Breckin Meyer and such in early roles. Again, I thought the soundtrack worked well. It's not a long film. It's only an hour and 30... Oh, it's an hour and 40? Didn't feel like an hour and 40 minutes. It felt like just a 90-minute movie. I mean, it moved at a good pace. Yeah, I think it's got some style to it. It doesn't feel... I just see maybe some people thinking nowadays it feels as if it's men suck and women rule and that's it. But no, because it shows both cases where there are good men like Cliff DeYoung, the gal, Robin Tunney's dad. And it shows that some women are bad, like Fairuza Balk's character. But I just see some people going, oh, it's... That's why I don't want to remake as well, because it would go more towards that. You know it would go more towards that. Women all suck and women are all perfect. And, well, wait a minute, what about this? No, in a remake, they would still go, all four of these are good, and they just have some random guy being, you fucking suck, and be the villain. I know some of the critics didn't like it. They felt it just went more into special effects. I didn't think it was as special effects heavy as the critics thought it was. And yeah, I thought the effects that were in there were decent. Again, for a low budget 1996 film, they weren't that bad. Some people, I guess, would call this a feminist movie. If it is, I don't think it's as obnoxious as the fucking movies of today. I'll say that. And I thought that at least they did, in the first half, some type of attempt. You have these four bonding together. Granted, when things start going to shit, there's a sequence where they're in a car, and Robert Tunney mentions about, oh, well, why you're acting so narcissistic nowadays, to Neve Campbell's character. But I don't remember ever really the movie showcasing Neve Campbell's narcissistic attitude. Like, maybe it would have been nice to see this gradual deconstruction of this friendship where you see this type of stuff. Mainly you get a quick little scene where Rachel True's character sees Marsha's hair going out more. But yeah, I didn't really get a big sense of Neve Campbell's character being so narcissistic that even our lead character notices. Maybe there was stuff cut out. I don't know. So I do think there's a couple of things in the script I disagree with, or again, some of the characters, Neve Campbell, Rachel True, just seem pushed in the background in the second half. But like I said, I do think the four main actresses do a solid job. Fairuza Balk, she seems a shit crazy when she plays the character. Like, this is a character that on purpose supposed to be in a way spastic and just out of it with the way she looks. And there's a moment where she's with Steve Allwork and she's talking about, you are nothing, you are shit. And I buy this bitch being crazy. Get the fuck out of Dodge away from this bitch. But she played a good bitch. Sounds like a porno. Played a good bitch. And Robin Tunney does a solid job as the main good girl. I don't know why I'm forgetting what the hell Robin Tunney has done. I forgot she was in Encino. She was in Encino, man. I completely forgot about that. Oh yeah, of course. End of Days, of course. I love End of Days. Supernova. Oh yeah, that's right. She would go on to be in End of Days. Granted, I think she did a better job acting here than in End of Days. But yeah, I love End of Days. Definitely, I would say this is one of her more high-profile movies, really, as a lead. There's a lot of these others, she's just a supporting character. For some reason, I thought she did more movies than listed here. Go figure. But yeah, I really liked her character because she was innocent, but she had a bit of... She wasn't a pushover, and she had a bit of a... I don't want to say attitude, but she had a bit of spunk to her. And not in that way, you perverts. But she had a bit of, attitude is the wrong word, but she wasn't a pushover. I appreciate that. And even the way it ended was interesting. Again, the spoilers. The way it ended where, in this kind of film, you would think, oh, well, the other three are going to die. But that's not really what happens. It goes a little bit different route where she does overpower Fairuza Balk's character and leads to that character being committed to a psychiatric hospital without any powers. You know, believing that she can fly. And yeah, she does a good job being a crazy bitch. And then Neve Campbell and Rachel True, they're not friends anymore with Robin Tunney's character, of course, but they don't have any powers. It seems like they try to apologize, but it's half-assed, and she doesn't buy it. That's what I mean. I think at least maybe Neve Campbell, if you work that in, maybe her and Robert Tunney, I don't know, just something a bit more to Neve's and Rachel True's characters. But again, I know it sounds stupid, but it's kind of interesting to me that none of those four die. I don't know why this interests me. I think because I can see a lot of people not expecting that. And it is... I know it's a stupid thing to talk about, but it just... Something about it just interests me. I don't know. Sometimes weird shit just goes in my radar. By the way, yeah, I think The Craft is a decent flick. I don't think it's an amazing flick, but for a film dealing with witchcraft, it was a bit sexy, because I think all four of these are, well, yeah, even Fairuza Balk, I would say a crazy bitch, go rip my nuts off way, but beautiful, sure, I'll say that too, but especially Neve Campbell, Robin Tunney, Rachel True. And the soundtrack, the pacing, I think it all works for an entertaining movie. Now that I'm done rambling, thank you once again for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.